Welcome to this latest edition of ABNcast, brought to you by Aviation Business News. My name is Lee Hayhurst. I am the editorial director at ABN, and I'm here in London in the ABNcast studio. Today, we are going to talk to an individual who represents a very interesting part of the world. In fact, it's the happiest place, reputedly, in the world's happiest country. And we're going to talk to them about the relationship between their region and the business that goes on in that region and the aviation sector. So I'm delighted to be joined by Harri. Harri is the Chief Executive of Business Tampere. So Tampere, for those of you who don't know, is a city in Finland, and it has a long history of industrial heritage. And it has many businesses related to the aviation sector. So we're going to talk about the region, what it offers to the aviation industry, and what its ambitions are for the future. So Harri, welcome and thanks for joining us today on ABNcast.
Thank you so much, and happy to confirm that you are right on the happiness part.
Yeah, so this should be the happiest ABNcast ever.
Should be.
Just start by describing the place to us. It's probably not somewhere that many people will have visited or even know about. So just give us an idea of what Tampere is like as a place to live in.
Yeah, I guess it's fair to say that we're sort of a well-kept secret in terms of tourism, at least. Although we did have a direct service from London Stansted a couple of years back, but Tampere is you can roll the R, by the way, if you can. Tampere, yeah. We're the biggest city in Finland after the capital region Helsinki, and significant tech hub with very vibrant student scene, massive university, and growing companies that keep the wheels rolling. And in terms of aviation, we have a good multifunctioning airport that provides us good service to Europe. But of course, we're in the business to develop that.
Yeah. So the city itself, it's not a massive city. How many people live in the city, and how many people live in the general region?
Tampere region overall is 550, so a little over 500,000 inhabitants. And in the central city, Tampere, it's 260, I think.
Yeah. And what is it? What's the environment like? I mean, Finland I guess it's not known for its very warm weather and so on, but it's no doubt in a part of the world where it enjoys a lot of outdoor activity. What's it like? What is it like as a place to be in and to live in?
Well, it's definitely 4 seasons. So as you might imagine, the winters are cold, the summers are warm.
Yeah.
Then then we have the 2 other seasons that are a bit of a mix. But yeah, it's as a city, it's a mix of old and new. So it has very long roots, being a old industrial city. A lot of these red brick buildings along the rapid flowing in the middle of the city between 2 lakes. Finland is known for its lakes, so that scenery is also very evident here. As we are located on a small piece of land between two big lakes.
Okay, so and I believe a lot of work's going into the city to modernize it and it's quite a cosmopolitan place to live. So there's quite a diverse population that live there.
Absolutely, and what we've seen the development in the city over the last 10 years, I would say that it's pretty historical. Also in European terms, I mean, we haven't seen such developments many times. The population increase of 50% over the last, let's say, 20 years is pretty amazing, and it's thanks to the constant investments and developments taking place in the city. It's public-private initiatives to build next generation version of what used to be a very beautiful industrial city, but it's now more of a, as you said, cosmopolitan tech hub.
Yeah. So let's talk about its industrial heritage. This isn't a new thing. The city has a history of being the very heart of industry in Finland, and it goes back way beyond sort of the tech era. But obviously the big connection has been with in the past has been with Nokia. We all know Nokia as a brand, sadly not with us any longer in terms of the mobile phones that we all remember growing up with in the sort of 90s, but still around as a brand. So explain the connection that Tampere, I'll try and get the pronouncing correct, it's difficult for me, how the region, how the city, the connection with the city and Nokia.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to Nokia story. So and Tampere Technological University plays a big role in that, and some of the very breakthrough innovations in mobile business took place here, and we like to say that this is sort of a cradle of the whole mobile revolution in the early 90s.
Yeah,
and for example, the first smartphone in the world, Nokia communicator, was developed here. So and Nokia is still, as many people know, it's one of the global leaders in the network technology. So even though we lost the mobile business, sadly, Nokia is still a very important company, and their chips that are the hearts and minds of the 5G and later on 6G hotspots and the earlier versions. They are mostly developed here, so in a way, it's still important.
Yeah, but so there's still a very vibrant high tech industry. In the city.
But if we think about the storyline, what's important is that these very capable people who were also very innovative in their days, developing these things, they have stayed in the city. And when that happens, you can expect good things as long as the rest of the ecosystem kind of supports the growth and innovation. And we've seen that in that very ability to serve other business domains these days. So mobile work machines, that's very important for us. Of course, now we're seeing historical decisions in the defense industry, and Tampere is one of the leading hubs also in defense technology in Europe, and especially the digital defense solutions and health technologies and so on.
Yeah. So that original expertise that was related to the Nokia, that then helps support expertise in other sectors, because there are always overlaps with other sectors. So what's happened is the city and the region has developed these expertise in all different kinds of areas, including aerospace and defense.
Yeah, and it's a lot of that, and this is only my opinion, but I think that a lot of that, it comes down to the Finnish culture of trust, and how in this kind of business community, how people can interact without violating any of their business secrets. They can develop and help each other, contribute to each other businesses well, and that enriches all the ecosystems that are today growing here.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, what that meant for Tampere as a hub, international hub, it meant that developed, because clearly when you're involved in such a global international business as mobile, you need to be getting people in and out of the place efficiently and effectively. So that one of the relationships with the aviation sector is that it became somewhere where people needed to travel in and out of efficiently and easily, and that's what the local airport provides, doesn't it?
Exactly. So it started already. I think our first direct foreign flights were in the 50s to Stockholm, and that those services constantly evolved all the way to the peaks of maybe 2008, 2009, somewhere there, when the financial crisis started to hit, and even then, especially the low cost services were very good. But we had 5 daily flights to Stockholm and Helsinki and other business hubs, and then the direct point to points. So yeah, as you said, it's when the drivers of the economy and drivers of the society are so international, born international, then it's natural that the traffic is there.
Yeah, and as again you alluded to earlier, one of the other things that happens when a place sort of develops a tech or a business hub is that you start to develop the talent of the future in the local universities and even schools. So I know that Tampere has a very vibrant university that is very much aligned with providing the area with the skills it needs. That's still the case today, then, that the university is very much, and education in the region is very much part of the story of Tampere.
Yeah, I mean, our university community has around 40,000, close to 40,000 people. And our old tech university and the University of Tampere, they merged a few years back. And we've seen new kind of disciplines take place here. And that's, I think that after the very natural struggles in the beginning, we're now witnessing again a very competitive university.
Yeah,
and the technological. I'll just add that the University of Technology used to, I think it was ranked top 5 globally in its industrial collaboration.
right.
Coming back to the Nokia ecosystem, but yeah, there we are.
Yeah, and clearly that would be providing plenty of opportunities for Finnish students and people who are born and raised in Finland. But equally, you can't just rely on locally grown talent. The city will be bringing in talent from all over the world. Yeah, so it becomes quite a vibrant international community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we're investing in, and we are have been putting in a lot of hours to figure out what would be the communities overseas and globally that could work for us as a source of newcomers and new labor force and so on.
Yeah.
It's a tricky business, even though we are a very happy nation and a very attractive city. We're here in the north, and of course it has its own features compared to the mega cities in Central Europe and London and so on.
Yeah. You mentioned the fact that there are businesses in all sorts of sectors, health and defence and so on. But let's go into the aviation sector specifically a little bit. There is a heritage of businesses in the city related to aviation. I understand that the aircraft, the black boxes that we know on aircraft, were first developed by a company in the city. So tell us a little bit about what Tampere's heritage is in terms of aviation specifically?
Yeah, that's we have close to 100-year history in aviation business, and it first started in early 30s when the state started to invest in Tampere aircraft manufacturing plant.
Right.
And that at the same time we had another state-owned technology conglomerate called Valmet, and they developed in Tampere the first black box for aviation called Harri. And eventually the two merged in the 40s, and later on, maybe in the I think we were in the 60s or in the 70s, the operation ramped down, but today what we see is a very versatile mix of avionics companies and businesses that support the aviation value chain. And also in our university we have the avionics research track.
Okay.
I think we even have a British professor there actually, but yeah, the offering is quite competitive.
Yeah, so you've got that more sort of pioneering tech element, but another connection with aviation, I guess, relates to what we said earlier about the climate and the weather there. There are more practical logistical businesses, for instance, related to snow clearing, which obviously is a very important part of many airports' operations. So there's an operational side of it, a ground handling side as well.
Yeah, even though there are, every now and then in the winter time there are massive blizzards and a lot of snow for several months, and but we have very little downtime in our airports.
Yeah.
So the snow-how, so-called snow-how, that's very advanced here, and a lot of companies that have developed solutions to clear the snow and keep the airports operational. So the weather is not an issue in Finland.
Yeah, we're always amazed over here when, about an inch of snow closes our airports, and everyone goes, well, how on earth do they cope in Sweden and Finland when it's, they've got many more feet of it to deal with, and it's because you're doing it all the time and you've got the ability to do that in place.
Yeah, but if I can just add to that is that's I think that the reason Finns are tend to be quite resourceful is that we have to be because the circumstances have been harsh, and the history is difficult in many ways. So that's the best source for innovation. Yeah, and you have to.
Is when needs require it to happen. You have to do it. Given we've established the sort of the heritage and the position of Tampere and the region, not just for business but for aviation as well, what's the vision for business Tampere that going forward in terms of what you want to see in a way that it works with the aviation industry? What kind of things are you out there trying to encourage? You're obviously trying to bring businesses into the region. So what's your vision for aviation and business Tampere?
Yeah, so I can maybe starting with the overall setup, like what's the aviation related business environment in Finland. Of course, we have a very competitive Helsinki airport, which is not too far, and that is the main reason why the service at the Tampere airport has been relatively narrow, even though we are today, for instance, one of the 4 home airports for Air Baltic. They're offering great service for our business and leisure travelers twice a day with the big new aircraft. So that's something that we're very grateful for. But yeah, that kind of limits down the ability to grow the passenger flows here. I think it might go somewhere around 1 million passengers a year. What's the natural demand at highest might be, but at the same time, the the developments in our tech domains are so drastic that I'm expecting us to keep raising our level in competitive environment. For instance, in whether it's imaging technologies or other sensor technologies or next generation digital defense solutions, and even digital health. That's the demand potential is endless, and the research and innovation taking place here. That's I'm very excited about some of the storylines that are going on.
Yeah. Are some of those areas, are they aviation specific, or some of that technology, I guess, can be applied across industry? So it could be
Yeah.
applied in other sectors as well.
Well, one thing that's of course now relevant is the fact that Tampere region is big, or the F-35 footprint in the region is very big. So big part of the value chain maintaining and kind of assembling the parts that are agreed with the state of Finland and Lockheed Martin. That footprint is here, and so that kind of creates certain amount of demand and growth potential for the region.
Yeah. And that connection that you've got with defense and the Air Force leads you also into sort of the logistics side of air freight and humanitarian operations as well, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, we have the Satakunta Air Wing, which is based in the Tampere airport, and also the Finnish Logistics Command is located close to the airport and in the city, and utilizes the airport a lot. So, and the airport area as such is growing as a new NATO base, and
Right.
of course that's highly interesting for us, and also creates that international dynamics to the region.
Yeah. The other thing I think that the region generally of Northern Europe is associated with is living more sustainably, and is leading the way in terms of our approach to the environment, and I know Finland's very much part of that. So what do you see the Tampere region playing in terms of helping aviation operate more sustainably in the future?
That's an interesting question. I would give you two answers. So starting with the next generation fuels, eSAF, and the clean natural gas, meaning the natural gas that comes from renewable sources. So we're in a process of establishing new plants to the region to produce those goods, and of course having the source for eSAF in the region might be a major competitive edge for the airport. Another thing is of course the electric power sources. So being able to enrich the battery value chain that might serve aviation. We're seeing these battery investments taking place in the region, and maybe having those value chains here might be something that we see in the future. But of course, we are still in a very early phase. but definitely the airport and the area surrounding it, and these also the university connections and others serving that creates a very fruitful environment for those kind of pilots and experiments.
Yeah. And if for businesses that want to, look to where they locate or start new operations, is the Finnish government, are they offering, incentives? Are there ways, are there incentives for businesses to come and locate in places like Tampere?
Well, I would say that overall the Finnish society is very transparent, and it also comes down to the subsidies for companies. So it's pretty equal for everyone. So there are certain boosters and also EU funding that we generate also through our office in Brussels, and we can help companies investing here to leverage those sources to their business opportunities. But yeah, overall the majority of the tax breaks, they are related to R&D activities, and then we do have, I believe there's upcoming funding coming to ramp up production facilities, especially around the dual use value chain, or the so-called Rearm Europe initiative that might serve these kind of requests.
I guess there are, outside of any sort of financial incentive like that, certainly what happened post-COVID is there's been a greater focus on work-life balance generally, just from individuals, but also companies wanting to provide better work-life balance for their staff. Has that been a boost to somewhere like Tampere? Because you mentioned, you're competing against the likes of the big cities in Europe like London, but from what we can tell and how you describe the city, it offers potentially a much better work-life balance for people. So are you seeing more demand because of that?
Yeah, we are. Of course, the fact is that cities it relatively small still in the European terms, and one might consider that as a calm environment to live in and operate in when traffic is not congested, when your life is quite affordable. The housing is still reasonably priced, and but still you're in a very international environment which invests a lot and grows a lot. So I think we're in a sweet spot in that way, and being able to offer another kind of arrangements, other kind of life for people who may be a little bit burned out from the very hectic environments and situations that they're in. And of course, we can talk about very different cultures as well. We know what the weekly cycle is in some countries, 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and so on. So that's the Finnish way is different.
Yeah. And it obviously helps when Finland is constantly, or every year, is named the happiest country on the planet to live in. So just a final thought, that must make you a very positive person, because you actually live in Finland and you experience it yourself every day. But when you look forward to what's coming along for the region, what's your view? What's your thoughts on the future for the Tampere region, and how we see it developing in terms of its aviation business?
Well, what I hope to see is that we have connectivity that serves our development. And we're talking about, of course, new investments, but also year-round events, which the offering is very significant, and we have one of the most modern arenas in Europe, the Nokia Arena, which was built 3 years ago. And yeah, just to have connectivity that match up with the offering, and that's a mix these days. It's a we can talk about the connectivity through Helsinki Airport, but also having good service, and there definitely is room for growth for airlines willing to utilize the catchment of the Tampere region.
Yeah, and I guess generally in terms of the business community, being known globally as a hub for innovation is always a very good thing. We talk about Silicon Valleys of this world, but it's always a good thing to have that reputation, because that in itself attracts attention and investment, doesn't it?
That's right. I mean, it doesn't go away when you have that kind of capabilities that drives the modern innovation. It's not something that you can take away from a region, and in that sense, I'm feeling quite safe, and happy to be part of the growth story and contributing as Business Tampere to what we see happening here.
Yeah. Well, look, our time's up. So thanks for joining us, Harri, and giving us an insight into where you live and where you work. It obviously sounds fantastic. I think we should all try and get at least one visit to the area, because why not? And for the aviation sector, there's clearly lots of important things going on there. So thanks for joining us, and best of luck for the future.
Thank you so much for the interview.
No problem. Thank you.